So, today we're joined by our favorite German, Mr.
Yeah.
Kimmo.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yo, Kimmo!
we really need a
Hello.
live studio audience for this.
Yeah,
It's like
so,
Mr. Kimmo, and then it's just
Just like add some applause here.
yeah, some
Or crickets.
cicadas. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kimmo, first of all, how are you doing? How are we doing?
I'm doing great. I
Did
went for a
you,
run this morning and I'm fine.
did you eat an egg sandwich again today?
No, I actually did.
There's no way. Do you only eat egg sandwiches for breakfast? or
No,
something?
like that's like the second time this week. So like you just every time I ate one, you just called me out on it.
you have a sense for these things.
It's
He actually,
because
he actually does.
it's because whenever we talk, Kimmo, you get really excited, and every time you're in a
It's
good
like-
mood, you start your day off with an egg sandwich. That must be it.
True. Yeah, must be it.
And it's not at all because Andrew is looking through your window. Wait,
No, totally not that.
Yeah.
Kimmo,
But-
stop looking back at Andrew. Focus on the screen.
But it looks so good.
I do look beautiful. What can I say? But
He honestly does, by the way.
It's like Squidward with a blonde wig.
Honestly.
my first
Like-
question, which is kind of awkward because I already know, but Kimmo, explain to me how you met the ultimate Andrew Van Doren, cybcybcybcyb, ShinjoCyb.
Well, that's a great story, my guy. I met Cyb because he was a fanboy of mine. That's
Oh.
basically how we met. Yeah.
So I haven't
That is
actually
not
I haven't actually heard this story, but like I know
Yeah, I can explain it better than
and you
just
know
that.
both of you vaguely know of fuck what's his face?
Well, we met through a Rocket League Pro. Technically, like he was streaming his gameplay. His name's God's. No, okay,
No.
well, no, he's not a
That
Rocket
is-
League Pro. I would
No,
say.
that's not what
I'd say.
happened.
Yeah. So, but like, let me explain it like just in a short way. Like we both, when we're in a Twitch chat, this was during COVID times. From Godsmiller, the former Rocket League Pro, fellow German, by the way. Let's go. And yeah, then- Andrew actually thought I was pretentious because he joined my streams because I was streaming back in the day, and I had my Twitch and my Rocket League name, so he actually didn't like me at the start, and he thought I was trying too hard. Yeah, but then I didn't. I thought he was arrogant as well, and obviously that's how a good friendship start.
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of paraphrasing it.
That's basically how it was, though, right?
I mean, it was kind of true. I wasn't like, oh, I hate this guy, but I was like
Yeah.
slightly annoyed by some things, which I look
Yeah.
back on and I'm just like, mate, that's like really
I mean,
doesn't
I
really
just started-
matter.
Andrew,
I just
did
started
you?
streaming and I tried to make it so hard, and you were just like, "Well, dude, you're just like a fucking tryhard. Just
Yeah.
stop."
I mean,
Yeah,
you're also
Andrew-
just you're very like charismatic and nice, and it's like hard when someone's like talking with you to actually end up thinking that you're like this bad guy, or he's just
Aw.
trying to make it and he doesn't care about other people. There's always like, even though you were obviously trying really hard and you were absolutely fine with potentially leeching a little bit off of some more popular people,
Yeah.
it was never like with bad intent. So
Aw.
you know, in the end, I could never after talking to you for a little while. It was impossible to dislike you. So
I like to think you just left and were like, "Oh fuck, I like this guy."
But Andrew, did you just like find him randomly on Twitch, just looking through like random people to follow on like Rocket League.
Godsmiller
no
or Kimmo?
Kimmo?
No. So we were both viewers and Discord members of this like this streamer slash pro player called Godsmiller, and so we talked to each other in the Discord and the Twitch chat, and that's kind of that's how we met.
Yeah.
And we
so,
started playing professionally together.
so
Professionally,
you-
we were
you-
making bucks.
so you met him through the Discord, and then you just decided to watch some of his streams.
Well,
from
yeah,
that.
he would like he touched upon it earlier, but he would always like promote his own stream a lot in Godsmiller's Discord.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
But in a
that-
self-promotion
yeah, okay.
channel, not like randomly.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm following. Yeah. Okay. So I thought he was like sending like those voice messages on Twitch where you like donate and it's like follow me on this thing.
No.
Okay, but this makes more sense.
No.
It was a Discord thing. Like
Yeah.
we were speaking a lot about on that in Discord because we're both very involved in the community, and yeah, I thought like we played together, and after that you joined because I asked if I could stream or something. I'm not sure though.
You joined like Andrew's Discord fairly early on, didn't you? Well,
I
No.
think I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't. I'm pretty sure I mostly hung out at the time in Godsmilla's, Kimmo's, and Chinny's server. At this point,
Mm.
Kimmo and Chinny were completely unacquainted. I had no idea who each other were. But
Yeah.
no, I didn't really use my own server for the longest time. It was only really when Kimmo went, if you will, AWOL from his streaming.
True.
That after a while, I started using my own server. But yeah, I never really. I never really talked about my own shit too much, and that's why initially I was like, I thought I was this saint or something, that because I didn't promote anything that I did, that therefore everything Kimmo did was like slightly
Yeah,
unfair, or like, oh, he's
I
being
get
desperate and
that.
that kind of stuff. But no, I
yeah.
was wrong
I
at the
mean,
time.
the Andrew Discord was basically made because another Discord was closing down, so it didn't really have.
There's a correlation between my Discord being used and other Discords dying.
I mean, yeah, mine
He
died.
finds Discords and then there sucks their life out.
It's more like a recovery tool, you know? It's like
Yeah,
it's the
and then
Honestly, yes, though.
he takes prominent members and moves them to his own server.
But that's actually great because now I can like casually join Cyb's Discord and just speak to you guys, for example, or like other people who left from my Discord back in the day and just found a new community in Cyb. So
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I basically did the same thing as what I'm accusing Andrew of doing. I found Bloxley in a server, and later that server was killed, and it had over like 2,000 members. So
yeah.
sorry. No,
but
but okay, but so like, I just have a follow-up question about this because I haven't actually heard this story before.
Mm.
So like, when did you decide to like, I guess, was it Andrew who invited you to the server, or was it more like, or like because you knew people already on the server, or like was it because you started to get to know Andrew more? Why did you join the server? Was it like, did you just
Do you
feel
mean
like it
Cyb
was it?
server?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I feel like because when I started streaming, I didn't know anyone, and I started to get to know a few people through Godsmilla's
Mhm.
server, and I think a person, obviously now I know it, but I spoke the most on Leon's server or Godsmilla. I didn't end up speaking to that much, but I ended up because I played attorney with Cyb technically as a substitute.
Mm.
This story's gonna come out. Sorry, Andrew.
I
But
was a super sub. I was a super
he was the
sub.
super sub. Like we were just playing like some Rocket League Pro tourney, whatever, just for fun, as
Yeah.
4 people, and you needed a sub, and Andrew joined. But one person on the team was obviously worse than Andrew, just skill based. But then we ended up because the third person wanted to sub in Andrew, so the second person went out. Andrew went in. Andrew and I thought I liked him a lot. I thought he was a bit arrogant at the time because he had like that feeling of, oh yeah, I'm better than you guys. But it was justified, honestly. Like it was fucking justified. He was the
No,
best on our team, in
no.
my opinion.
All right, fair
But
enough.
like from that, like I'm telling this whole story because from that point on, I actually thought like every time I went to Leon's Discord or Godsmilla's Discord, I always wanted to join when I was speaking to Andrew, and
Aw.
when like yeah, every time I saw Andrew was in Godsmilla's Discord, I was like, okay, I'm gonna join as well. And then when my streaming stuff died out and I moved a lot and I wasn't as active anymore on Discord, I still wanted to talk to Andrew. So it was just like, well, I'm just gonna obviously join a server because that's gonna be the most likely I will be able to talk to him because my community it's still kind of kept alive for some time, but then it obviously died out because it didn't do anything. Yeah, so that's why I joined Andrew. It's just because he was probably the person the person I wanted to keep from this whole
Depression.
my streaming adventure the most and be able to talk to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
By the way, during that whole thing of like Kimmo feeling like I was arrogant and everything, and that he thought that I was the best player at that time, in my own head, I wasn't saying it out loud, clearly, because I was just like, I was probably pretty silent at the time.
He was.
I didn't really know everyone too well at the time. But I remember thinking about in my head like this Kimmo guy. This guy is like way better than me in our third. This guy's like
Yeah.
he's talking about how much he's enjoying grinding and getting better at the game. This guy's gonna get GC. I mean, he was constantly like communicating better than everyone else. He felt like he had more control of the game, even though not necessarily individually. His
Yeah.
mechanics were like incredible or anything, but he was just like so consistent. And I was like, this guy is clearly gonna get GC before me. I've got no chance. So I just want to let you know that I didn't think I was better than you guys. That's not what happened.
He was though.
I wasn't. We were like the same level.
Okay, dude.
I thought you were better. You thought I was better. In reality, we were probably the same level. Is what I think.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Both of you are still worse than me.
True.
I mean, now I'm 10 times better, but
Obviously.
that's a different
Have
thing.
you stopped playing, Kimmo? Is that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
case?
yeah. I mean, I moved a lot. That's why I went.
Yeah. So you stopped streaming and Rocket League at the same time. Is that
Sort of like I stopped streaming because I went to a living situation where I lived with other people, and I didn't feel comfortable streaming because it
Yeah,
was
that
always
makes
in
sense.
English as well, even though I live in Germany. And I kept playing after though, like and talking on Discord, but then I moved again, and my social life just took over. So yeah, just if you want to be a pro player, don't have a social life, and because that's just gonna it's just gonna make you not game as much.
Yeah, you want to be like me. Don't have a
Exactly.
social life or be a pro player.
It's the ideal scenario for me.
Oof.
But Kim, I wanted to ask you some questions about your job because obviously you're all grown up and
I'm grown
you
up
got a
now.
big man job. What kind of job did you have again?
I work in radio production, so I'm the audio expert on basically any questions they have, and also audio design. So when you listen to any radio station, they obviously just play music or play or moderate, like talk about something. But sometimes they do bits about, okay, this music is new and this is new, and I'm the one who creates. What the fuck was that?
That was a quack. Don't worry, it was Jacob just being annoying.
No, it's just sound. It makes sense.
True, yeah. And I create like the files that they just have to push start that the file plays or like pull up the fader, and yeah, that's basically my job. I'm the one who helps if anything goes wrong, and I'm the one who designs most of the audio things that you hear on radio.
Oh.
Okay, cool stuff. And what do you have to like? What kind of stuff do you have to study in order to get yourself around that job?
Yeah, you have. I guess you have more than one way to get into that. Like the one I went with is it's also like a little. It was just random that I ended up in radio. I didn't really want it to end up there. You in Germany you can do an apprenticeship, which is just 3 years, where you partly are in a at a job already, and they like have you with people who already work the job, and then you also have a part school thing where you have to do theory and stuff, and that
Okay, so there's like a practical as well as
exactly, yeah.
theoretical. Okay.
And it's technically lower than like studying in terms of how you think of it. Like person who studies is an academic, and a person who does apprenticeship is technically not as highly regarded, but it helps you get into the things you want to do more easily. And especially in audio production, you just need knowledge on how you practically do it, and not just theorize it the whole time. So that's how you end up mostly getting into radio, is just having an apprenticeship. And this apprenticeship is technically media design in audio and film production. So I technically also could do everything with pictures and stuff. Yeah, you do that for 3 years, and then the place I worked at wanted to keep me, and that's why. But I wanted to keep me in radio, so I was like, okay, sure, why not?
Are you comfortable covering, letting us know what area your
Yeah, sure.
your radio station covers?
Yeah, sure. The first time I was on radio when I was doing my apprenticeship was in near around Frankfurt, but then I
Okay.
moved a few times, and now it's around Cologne. So like everything in North Rhine-Westphalia is technically our region.
Oh, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And
So,
Germany is fairly
you've been
dense
studying,
population.
or you were studying that for 3 years, and then you got
Yeah.
into your job? Is that
Well, yeah,
correct?
I got into the job where I worked at, but I realized that I wanted to actually study, so I stopped after like 3-4 months
Ooh.
and moved to another city in Germany, more northern, and studied 1 year sociology and philosophy.
Okay.
Then, but then I got a job offer again in Cologne, where I live now, and work at the radio station. So it's technically with 1 year absence of radio, but I went back into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you studied like audio and all that stuff for
Yeah.
3 years roughly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So considering your expertise in audio,
Great segue.
I was gonna ask you some questions relating to the main topic of this channel, anime.
Okay.
What are some of the anime soundtracks that have impressed you in your time, like watching anime?
Oh, okay. So, I mean, the obvious answer for me as well is my first anime, and I know you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be the first opening from Tokyo Ghoul, so Unravel. That opening track is just
That's a good one.
It's different. It's different. But in terms of like the feeling you get and like scoring track, I guess like Your Name, the theme of Mitsuha is just it's so good. It's so
I'm just going
good.
to listen to this real quick.
It's like, especially in the movie when you're at those scenes and stuff, it hits different. Those are the ones that I like come to my head instantly. Unravel and the theme of Mitsuha from Your Name.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with those as well. Your Name has got some really good tracks on there. Like
that's just
it's
like
very
one pick.
consistent.
Yeah, that's just one track. There's multiple in that movie that are great.
Yeah. But I believe you've also watched Terror in Resonance, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. I recommend you you listen to the soundtrack of that one because I know for me personally I would say it's the nicest one that I've listened to. Obviously I don't actually know the full ins and outs of what a soundtrack should include, but just like in terms of how nice the songs sound, Terror in Resonance is definitely definitely up there.
Which soundtrack are you referring to from the show?
What do you mean? The soundtrack. The score, the soundtrack. The entire thing.
There's the entire thing. So there's no specific OST or
No, it's like it's just the overall thing, yeah. Everything combined. But other than that, probably Ghibli movies. Have you watched many Ghibli films?
I think I've watched every single one.
Every single one?
I don't think I'm missing any.
What about the most recent one, the Haron,
I have
Boy in the Haron?
I literally have a picture of it hanging in my room. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I haven't watched that one yet.
But it's good. It's a good one. Like I mean, it's obviously Miyazaki as well, so it has that vibe to it, but it's a little. I think you have to watch it twice. Because the first time it's just like the fuck just happened. But yeah, second time was just like, oh, okay, I get all the metaphors. Or I don't get all the metaphors, but I get some of them.
So you can pretend you get all
exactly.
of them.
Like I now can be like, oh yeah, and this stands for.
In all your social gatherings where you're clinking glasses and stuff, you can be like, ah, yes.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Terror in Resonance?
And I just have my monocle ready, and they're like, oh yeah, did you know?
I get to deep philosophical themes. Of
exactly. That's why I studied it for.
Evangelion to Death Note. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I just feel like Ghibli soundtracks they get it like perfect almost every time. Like in some of my favorites are in Howl's Moving Castle and probably Spirited Away. Those are the two main ones I'm thinking of. I haven't seen all of them, so it's probably some I'm missing out on. Some others that I would recommend for soundtracks are probably Made in Abyss. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that. Free Ren, and for shounen I'd probably say Bleach. I think Bleach is actually pretty good shounen.
I'm just now watching Bleach. Yeah.
Oh, are you really? Like the old one, the original? There's no remake, but
there's a new season coming out. A long break.
So actually, I'll actually ask you about that then, since you're watching Bleach, and that's like an old school show. And I say old school, it's not actually that old, but it's 2 decades old or whatever now. How are you finding the pacing of shonen of those days?
Well, to be fair, I'm used. Like before I watched Bleach, I watched Naruto, and I mean, like, bro, I've seen the swing too many times to like just be fine with how Bleach is paced. I also have a friend who knows the fillers and knows what you can skip, so I don't have the full experience of having to watch every single thing. Like when it's paced too slowly, he makes us skip the whole things that we don't need. So I guess I'm not the perfect example of knowing what like how the pacing is. And I do prefer the pacing nowadays, to be honest. I know it sounds like weird because obviously because I didn't watch anime when I was younger, so I don't have this nostalgia for it, for like the whole it takes a little bit. But I feel like overall I like it when it's shorter than when it takes a million years.
Yeah.
But with an asterisk though, I do think that too many animes nowadays skip too much. Like they tend to skip over parts they could have explored more, and that's where the detail gets lost.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, I just don't feel connected to some characters because I feel like they rush the story too much. I know
Mm.
this is going to be controversial, but I guess we're here for controversial opinions. I don't like Chainsaw Man because I think it skips through character development too much, and I don't care about the characters. Just me,
I
though.
mean, I feel like the first episode itself skips through so much stuff that
Yeah.
it's hard to keep track of where like characters are mentally and like stuff.
Exactly.
Uh, Also, I feel like there's two options. Because anime originals, they're always like 12 or 13 episodes or like 24 in rare cases. But there's the two options are for nowadays shows will basically be like 24 episodes, or they'll do the Overlord thing and just keep going for like if they're adapting something, they'll just keep going for so many seasons.
Yeah.
We're getting season 5 now, and it's probably not going to be even close to the end.
I feel like finding the sweet spot between how long an anime should be and how long it shouldn't be is just so fucking hard because most of them are just adapted, or like some of them are adapted from manga, and like it's a totally different story if you have a manga and an anime. And I feel like many, like it sounds so cheesy, but I feel like it's just people try to use the success they had from the manga and just try to capture what they could get out of like monetarily out of an anime without considering it as a whole product. I don't know if it's true. It's just my feeling though.
That's an interesting question, sort of point of view, because my point of view is that basically an anime that's adapted from a manga or a light novel, but mostly manga, will basically take a first season because there's so much stuff to adapt from. They don't have to like cut things short or cut things long. They'll just find a good end point and try to take everything from in between start and end and make it like 12 episodes or however long. And then they'll call that season 1 or whatever. And then that's like advertisements for the manga, in my opinion, because Domestic Girlfriend, which is an anime we talked about before, but it's the manga is so long that I really doubt they'll ever like adapt it well. Similarly to what happened to not Beyond the Boundary, what the fuck is that called? The one where there's monsters eating children and they're all orphans and stuff.
I don't know what that one is.
Oh Christ, I can't remember the name now, but like
monsters eating children.
Yeah, there's a second season of that show, and it basically takes everything from like so the arc 1 was season 1, and then all other arcs, which is like at least 6, just condensed into one other season of like 12 episodes. So
and that's what I think as well. Like I feel like they try to catch you in the early seasons, and then they just like prolong it, and then you have like so much that's just like, well, like you could have explained the whole like first or second season on like in like 3 seasons, but you wanted to like create hype so people actually are interested in the and things. So you just like fucked over the whole arc of the anime. But it's I get it, but and I'm also not an expert. I want to clarify. I'm not on like the main, like I don't know what's coming out and stuff. I'm not an expert on anime. It's just my feeling I get from watching.
But I guess the we're in a consensus at least that anime is much more of an industry now rather than an art form.
Probably,
which is sad, but also like it was good for the people who are making it because
I don't know. In terms of shonen, I wouldn't really agree. At least for shonen specifically, I wouldn't agree for the last, I don't know what it is, 2 decades or so, or even before that. I don't really know much about shonen before 2000. But like for shows like we mentioned, Bleach, Naruto, um, Dragon Ball Z maybe, I'm not sure actually, but I'll just cover those two. A common thing that would happen is they would be under the assumption that if you don't release an episode every week, that the anime would lose its hype, and blah blah blah. And then what would happen is they'd release episodes every week, and the show would actually catch up with the manga that's still ongoing. And then what they'd have to do is slow down the show so that they don't get ahead of the manga. And then they got to a point where they realized if we continue doing this, like the pacing's, people already say that shows like that are slow, and then they get to a point where it's even slower. So then they just decide, all right, in order to slow this down, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have 12 episodes of filler arc to slow down the show so that this manga artist can continue the thing. So yeah, that's
Maybe
that's
little
some,
fan service.
I feel like that's agreeing though with what we said, that like it's an industry.
yeah,
They have to
Yeah.
that's 20
fill it
years
out.
ago though, so it depends whether you consider that modern or not.
Yeah. No, but like,
Nowadays, they don't do that. They sacrifice the weekly episodes, knowing that people will still watch Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, and then just come up with more quality episodes, I would say. I do agree that
but
generally speaking, the pacing for shonen is too quick now, but I think it's definitely better than what it used to be. It used to be just like too slow to an extreme degree, I would say.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
well,
you have
not
like the
sorry.
benefit from the whole. Sorry, yes. I think you
No,
have the
you go for
benefit from the whole hype you have around anime. Like that anime isn't just a nerdy thing anymore. Like people from like any other interest that they have just can watch anime. I'm a good example. I watch American football and I watch anime. Like it's like the most away from each other interests that you can have. But I feel like the industry profited from that because they are more independent in that way, as you said.
Mm,
Because the backers, like the people who only are in it for the money in the industry, they know, okay, there is interest there, so we can comfortably give a studio some money and have them like create something good over time, rather than they have to pump out numbers because they know, okay,
mm.
there's prolonged interest in the whole thing.
Yeah, that's definitely
That's
true as well.
what I think. I'm not sure though.
But I also think that there are still obviously weekly stuff, but most of it is in Japan. The rest of the world has gone over to streaming, mostly just for all anime types, even shonen.
Kimmo,
And
sorry, go on.
no, I was just saying, I feel like in that sense, season 1 could also be a bit like a probe or a Trojan horse, where
Yeah, just a
they're
pilot, right?
yeah, basically. So they make that flashy and good, and therefore streaming service will buy it, and
Yeah.
then people will want to watch it, and the streaming services have to keep buying it. So
And sometimes maybe it's just also that they aim too high for themselves, and then they produce like a few episodes that are insane. I mean, you had the same thing. I wouldn't say with Demon Slayer, but they also struggled, I guess, because it was so praised for its animation that they had to live up to it, or like Jujutsu Kaisen as well, I guess.
yeah, they
I mean,
couldn't really
you
move
can't
from
outdo it then. Like if you're like if you did so well in the first few seasons, then it's like, well, you got to follow that up. It's not like you're gonna set new standards. It's just, I mean, there still are, but you still have to try to just not have an episode where it's fucking boring or people don't like the look of it. And then yeah, so I feel like some animes do struggle with that they think they can keep going with insane animation, insane everything, but then they realize, oh fuck, we have to do this on a daily basis now. Well, when they have like 6 months to produce the first season, then they have to like pump out stuff every month, I guess, if it's not every week.
Unlike the gaming industry, where it's like the customers are like, no, don't release it yet. Spend more time.
The gaming industry is
it. Yeah, it's like it's such a strange
true though, yeah.
situation we're in.
Yeah.
I feel like you're right about that. I didn't even consider. Like, I feel like the anime industry or the viewers are more like, well, I want to see what's gonna happen next. Well,
Yeah, because
the gaming
anime
industry,
is
please don't release your game until it's finished.
yeah, anime is consumable. So
Yeah.
when you've done it, it's done, and people clamor for more.
Yeah.
Gaming, you can play the same game or a few different games over and over without really being. And also, it's hard to get spoiled in like a in a terms of gameplay, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Andrew, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, it's interesting how like now, for shonen, they don't make as many episodes in like a concentrated time. Just constantly, more Bleach, more Bleach, more Bleach every week. It's now like, Demon Slayer for a couple of months, and then they don't have to make any Demon Slayer. But that might make some people think that then means, oh, they're not overworking their animators anymore. But they're definitely
Nope.
still overworking all their animators. And as you say as well, now with the Demon Slayer season 1 came out, and everybody said probably the best anime of all time, and it's also made by a studio that are known for their animation and Ufotable.
Ufotable. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they made season 2, which I would probably say averaged even better animation in the first season. And so they got that another one up, and then season 3 came out, and a lot of the more of the casual viewers, I guess, probably liked it just as much, but generally speaking, it's not as good as the previous two, and all of a sudden people are now not liking the animation as much, even though it's still top, like, A
Yeah.
tier, but now because it's not S tier, then all of a sudden,
That's what happened with One Punch Man as well, but just between season 1 and 2.
yeah. But like now between shonens, those same studios, they're probably like working on different shows, or they're just working on the same show but just triple as hard as they were when, if they were making a different shonen. So it's kind of a shame how like now that there's less shonen coming out, the workload isn't actually isn't actually less. It might actually be more than it was before. So it's definitely
No, but
a
don't
shame for
worry though, because
animators.
all the background artists in Slice of Life basically get time off because it's all just like 3D rendered stuff, and they get no work and get fired and poor.
Go next.
And it looks bad.
But yeah, I was also gonna ask. I already know what your favorite anime is. It's Tokyo Ghoul, right? But
Yeah.
other than
Oh,
that, what's your second favorite anime? And
By the way, it's not because it's the best. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, it's just your personal favorite.
Yeah.
But why do you like that one? And then your second favorite anime? What do you like
Mm.
about those shows?
It's a
and
good
also, if it's not the Slice of Life anime, let us know your favorite Slice of Life anime.
question.
Sure, I guess.
uh, my second favorite. I'm actually.
Steins
I
Gate.
want to. Okay, no.
I don't know.
Definitely not. I want to say Terror and Resonance actually, because I mean you mentioned
Ooh.
the
Ooh,
soundtrack
really?
earlier. Yeah, just because it's a shorter anime. It's not that long, but I like the concept, and I feel like it's yeah, it's just a good mix up. I like the characters. I feel with them. Like not every single one, but I do like most of them. I like the mystery behind like the whole story. You still like
Yeah.
think like, oh, where's this gonna take me? Yeah, I do like Terror and Resonance in that regard.
It was like, I feel like middle kind of wasn't for me at least, but like the ending really redeemed it. Like that whole scene at the
Yeah,
end
yeah, it's a
felt
good,
so nice. Just the whole.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I quite liked it. So,
Mm.
and then Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, I feel like it's obviously personal. Like I would never say that Tokyo Ghoul is even close to being like the best anime. It's just my favorite because I feel like I relate with the character a lot. Like it's so like cheesy to say.
Yes,
I
you
relate
went
with
out
the
on
main
a date
character.
and then some pipes fell on her and then they operated some
Obviously.
stuff into you. Yeah.
No, I just I don't know. I like the whole concept of the guy being caught between two worlds. I
Mm.
always relate with that a lot. I don't know if you guys want to keep this in, but I'm obviously I am handicapped. I know the viewers don't know this, but I'm handicapped, and I'm handicapped in a way that is just I still pass as like someone who doesn't realize that I'm handicapped.
Mm.
But if I do know, so I was also kind of caught in the whole, well, am I a handicapped person? Am I not? Like it sounds so cheesy, but that's kind of why I related with the main character a lot, and I also like the whole first season, how they portrayed the whole conflict. Yeah, so it's just very personal to me, and
Mm.
I do like the anime, but it does go downhill after after a few seasons. And reading the manga, I don't get why they made some choices in the anime.
Yeah,
But yeah,
same. very
Like
much.
there's so much you could have explored in terms of the concept behind ghouls and shit that they just didn't explain, and I don't understand why. Or like the whole CCG, why they didn't explain that further. Like there's so much they could have done, and they didn't. And I'm just like, please give me a remake where they do. But hey, it's fine.
Yeah,
And the
makes
few
sense.
times that the friend was in the manga, they cut out of the anime. So
I haven't
he's
seen
just in
it
the
to this
beginning at the
day.
end.
Wait,
I
what?
don't have an opinion.
So, oh yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't say that you had to see Tokyo Ghoul.
I have to
so-
watch it at some point because it's your favorite. I have to watch it.
Aww,
I
that's
have
true.
to, so that I can say that it's shit, and I can say that I think your taste is dog shit. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first one who told me that Tokyo Ghoul is shit. I have a tattoo from Ken Kaneki, so
It's definitely the manga is better. That's definitely.
yeah, that's like the main example of why the manga outshines the anime so much.
Yeah. So let's no, actually no. No.
You
Yeah,
looked
no,
at this questionless and
that's
said, "Not that one."
Not yet. Not yet.
not yet. Okay.
Andrew, do you want to take 3.5?
Uh, let me look at our DMs. Oh, okay. That's a
I
good
feel
question,
like we should.
actually.
Yeah, I feel like we should go like in a circle and start with Kimmo.
Okay. I'm
So
scared.
Kimmo, and we can also talk about this as well, but
Dun.
how did you get into anime?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a. It's been so long. I'm so old. I'm 24. If anyone didn't know.
20 years ago!
24. It was actually my I have a brother who's like a little bit than a year older, and he had a friend from school who like they were friends, but they like met up for like a few times, and the friend realized that he doesn't like my brother as much as he likes me. But just
Oops.
because I was actually like my brother is like not into gaming and shit, and the friend was. And then he always went over to my room and we played FIFA together back in the day. And that's like sort of how we became best friends. We just always played FIFA together and everything
It's
else.
such a jock game, though. Like,
It
surely
is.
your brother would have liked that game.
I mean,
Some
my
people
brother.
hate FIFA, though.
I mean, I don't like it nowadays, but when I was like 12, 11, 12, 13, I liked it. And yeah, that's how we became friends. And that friend was into anime, and I never was. And at some point, we had like a summer where we just he slept over at my place like every day for like a month. It felt like it was fucking awesome though. And we started watching Tokyo Ghoul together, which was my first
Yeah.
anime. And then we actually watched Fairy Tail, which was like, I mean, it's like 200, 300 episodes. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
I don't know.
loads.
Yeah, and we watched like almost the whole anime in like one summer.
Oof.
And yeah, that's basically my start, like Tokyo Ghoul, and then the whole summer of Fairy Tail with a friend, just sitting at home, like proper cool guys watching anime, not going outside. Yeah.
So your anime journey started by watching a shonen that's has the reputation for being one of the worst shonen of all time.
Yes.
And that's how you got a fairy tale tattoo.
Not one. I got like 6.
5, 6.
I got all the kids. I got all the kids, all the cats. I got all the cats.
Hold on.
All the cats. And the
Call
main
the
character
police.
too. I got all the kids, my guys.
Happy and Grey and
Gray's not a cat, but yeah.
no. Oh, is it only the cats? Okay.
Yeah, only the cats. I got all the cats and the main character tattoo. Like the one that...
Natsuki? Or something?
Wait, there's like
Is that the
Frog,
main character? Or is it
no,
Lucy is the main character?
Natsu. Well, technically
Natsu.
Lucy's the main character, but I mean, Natsu's like the one who like is actually the main character. But it's funny, but technically Lucy's the main character. But yeah, no, I got Natsu's tattoo.
My story is
Didn't
how
ask, did I?
okay,
No,
okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, you're correct. Nobody did ask. I'm just
No, what's your story?
I'm
What's your
forcing my
story?
story on
How
this
did you get into
conversation.
anime, Andrew?
Let's
I got into anime with a shonen as well, I think. I am actually my memory of how I got into anime is very, very blurred. Like obviously Pokemon probably came on the screen at some point, and I probably watched a
I'm
couple
just
episodes
looking-
of that. But it's not it's not something that got me into anime or anything.
Yeah.
We probably
I watched
did.
those as well.
I don't know which I started first, but I think it was probably Bleach. Remember watching a bit of Naruto as well, but I think Bleach was the one that I started watching first, which is probably why I still have such like a bias towards it to this day. I say bias, it's not like I think it's great or anything, it's just whenever I look at Bleach, it gives me a smile. So yeah, it probably was Bleach, just watching it when I was younger on probably starting on Apple TV, I think actually.
Apple TV.
Yeah,
What?
my dad was
Isn't
like
that
a
like recently?
No, but how? Yeah,
no,
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 but like,
no. That stuff existed since like 2000 and how old was I? I think it was like
can't
2006 or 8,
What?
10.
no,
No
Yeah.
like
way.
11 at the earliest, sure.
No, I was younger than that.
2011, not when you were 11.
Oh.
2007. It actually is released in
Yeah,
Oh my
2007.
my
god.
dad was a very
Crazy.
big Apple fan, so we all had
Yeah.
MacBooks, and this is when, what was that guy's name again? The Apple dude that was like,
Steve Jobs.
Steve
yeah, when
Jobs.
he was alive, and then when
Yeah.
he passed away, my dad suddenly was like, I don't know, I don't like what direction Apple are going, and then he completely gave up on Apple. But before that, he was anything Apple did, he was like, give me that shit. I like this shit. Everyone has
Yeah.
MacBooks. Everyone had like MacBook PCs um for his job, like his what you call it, like workspace,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the desks and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody worked for him. They all had Apple. So yeah, I was exposed to Apple TV like really, really early before anyone probably knew it existed.
Crazy.
So yeah, that's actually how I watched some anime. Unfortunately, it was very limited to how many anime were on there, and they released on there super, super, super late. But yeah, that's how I started. What about you,
Yeah,
Jacob? Oh, go on.
no, just like to like throw in something right here. I also watched Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. I was so nerdy. I actually had a Yu-Gi-Oh disc where you could play Yu-Gi-Oh with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my jam. But I didn't get into anime because it was just it was on free TV, and then I just watched it sometime, played it with some
Also,
friends.
I just want to correct you guys. I think both of your first animes was like some Pingu. Just
I never watched it.
I mean,
what?
maybe, yeah.
What?
You never watched it?
Okay, no, this is cancelled. We're stopping talking about this anymore.
How did you get into anime, Jacob?
He watched Death
Okay,
Note
understandable.
13 times. He actually has,
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
yeah, so Death Note was actually pretty early. Obviously, I did the same as you guys. I watched Pingu on repeat,
Okay.
and more Pingu,
And more
but then also
Pokemon and
some
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Pokemon,
Actually, Heidi is
Pokemon,
an anime, right?
What?
Heidi. Do you know
What?
Heidi?
No, don't know what
It's
that
like a
is.
Nope.
German TV series, but it's an anime.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't
a
It's an
German
anime.
TV series. Well, no surprise I don't know it then.
No, it's
Yeah.
an anime, dude. Like, yeah, it
Sorry.
doesn't matter.
Send it to
Maybe
me. Send
if
it
there's
to
a
me.
Swedish name, I don't know. I'll check.
I need to know what this is.
No,
Or
no, I don't recognize these faces.
It doesn't matter, yeah. But like, yeah, you watched the whole stuff that we watched as well, yeah. Pokemon.
Yeah, and Dinosaur King was so there's a really good Swedish cover of Dinosaur King intro, which is probably why it stayed in my mind for so long. And I keep referencing it.
Wait, since you're Scandinavian, you watched the Movements, right?
Yes.
See, that's an anime.
Is it? Oh,
Is it? Isn't
I
it?
don't know. I know the original books were like made by a Finnish guy.
But isn't like
maybe.
everything that's animated from back then like an anime because they didn't have other animation studios? I thought so,
Maybe.
at least. I'm
I
not
mean,
sure.
there's obviously
sure.
cartoons and stuff and like
Oh yeah.
DuckTales. But yeah, so the maybe Movement is an anime, but
It actually is an anime. Funny, yeah. But sorry.
I read some manga and I watched Naruto like fairly early as one of my anime experiences. It's like when I was 12 or something, but then I started because I didn't really like the way I had to watch it, which was with ads. I started reading the manga instead, and I got way into the manga, and it was way ahead of the anime, which was nice. Sorry, I feel like I should go back more. So like I read the Swedish manga at first, which was way behind the anime, and then I watched the anime, and then I moved on to the English anime online, reading ahead, and
And do you know
then
which year this was?
2012 or something.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Then I started sort of finishing off the manga, and I was like, yeah, I don't really like, I don't really have anything else I want to watch or something. So then I just sort of stopped for a while, and then some of my friends started watching Death Note, and since I was in manga brain, I decided to read it instead. Then back in like 2014 or something, Death Note was just available on YouTube. So I watched it on YouTube, and it was pretty good. And I watched it a few more times.
Only a few.
Yeah,
Maybe like 13.
yeah. Don't look at my analysts.
Like first time watching is 9 out of 10. Second time watching 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so I've actually I watched 13 times.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a bit. Then I sort of slowly got introduced to animes by my like high school friends at the time, which was Lionsgate, and what's that one called? Called Geass. But the biggest one I think that had the biggest impact on me was Fate Zero, and that basically changed my entire outlook on like anime, and like Fate was so perfect for me because I was sort of vaguely into history and mythology at the time, and it's just like, oh my god, it was so perfect. And then I sort of watched all the later that summer I watched all the like animes on Netflix, which includes Charlotte.
Are you going through like the entire anime, like the
Yeah,
chronological order to this
I'm
day?
trying to think of the worst ones, but I can't. I think it's called like Black Samurai or something.
Like we're talking about Charlotte now. We're getting recent.
Yeah, Charlotte isn't good. And yeah, I watched a bunch of those, and then I just didn't stop.
And
so,
it didn't stop there.
No.
Going.
But yeah, I guess so. Like because of Fate Zero, I got into Gikuk and his videos and stuff, which was a stepping stone. So YouTube has really been a part. Like,
oh, that's where the isekai came from. It was Giguk.
That's basically how I recharge my anime batteries. If I'm not into anime, I'll just watch some YouTube videos about anime, and I'll be like, yeah, anime.
Yeah.
So long story short, it was a process over many years, but once I started, I didn't really stop.
Yeah.
So you got really addicted.
Watch Dinosaur King, guys.
I've watched it. I love Dinosaur King.
Yeah, you wouldn't love it now though.
Yeah. They had battle scenes as well, right?
Yeah, me and Andrew have talked about this before, but like, we probably wouldn't like Dinosaur King now because of like how the animation is like
so bad,
so different. Yeah, but like it's like we have this like Jurassic Park but low res sort of things, and then we just have 2D characters walking. It's basically just like Overlord. But yeah,
I think I had a video game from Dinosaur King.
A video game?
Yeah, I think I had. Maybe I'm like tripping, but I thought that was like a video game.
You had a video game from Dinosaur King.
Yeah, but like a CD game, you know, right? Like, or was it Nintendo DS? I don't remember.
Was the music something like this?
I can believe the DS. That sounds believable to me.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, it was the DS. Yeah, but I don't think I had it. Actually, like borrowed it and I never gave it back. So I technically never owned it.
You borrowed it.
I mean, I gave it back. I totally gave it back. Totally.
You gave it back. You gave it back. Yeah.
Totally,
You're a good guy.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Speaking of which, today we're sponsored by FIFA. No, so I feel like that transitions us well into talking about Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important that we
I have
watched
big questions. So yeah, so no, I feel like everyone agrees in the universe basically that the war arc in Naruto wasn't great.
What wasn't great?
The war arc in Naruto,
The
the
war.
basic, the big
Yeah.
endings parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Naruto in general? Do you have a favorite arc, favorite character, like stuff you hate?
My thoughts in general will fucking swing. The thoughts in general is just like, I think it's a very, very great anime, and like I think the best example of building characters that you can find in anime, in my opinion, because it takes the time, and like if you go from Naruto to Shippuden, and like the way they actually take the time to make you care about the characters. I mean, obviously you can't do that nowadays the way they did it back then, because you don't have the stronghold on TV, I guess, because you have streaming and you have to capture quicker. Like the audience, you have to capture it quicker than you had to back in the day, I feel like. But the way they transitioned from that like kid or those kids back in the day to actually developing not every single character. I mean, Rip 1010, no screen time, but I mean like, but like almost like the most important characters, they actually develop them so well, and they give characters actually so deep thought. Like, I mean, Itachi is the best example for this. Like, the whole anime, you think like, oh, he's the worst guy ever, and then it just switches, and it's like, bruh, I love you. And
they did that well, in my opinion.
so like you wouldn't have like if you rewatch it, obviously you might be able to tell, but if you don't know, you probably don't know until it's revealed.
Yeah.
And I don't think until like Shippuden they didn't like the whole Itachi thing wasn't actually like planned.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like they made him a bigger character. Yeah, I haven't heard anything to the contrary, but I haven't heard like I feel like they didn't have that many big Akatsuki plans to begin with, like at all.
But I feel like that's like the perfect example of actually adapting your show in a good way. Not like you do like some shows do it nowadays where they just try to prolong the whole thing to get the most value out of it. They actually, I feel like Naruto, obviously it has filler arcs and stuff, but it actually had a good overall arc. I mean, the ending, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the whole thing, but yeah, I did like it a lot. I forgot all the other questions because I was just simping over it.
No, like but like that was one of them. But yeah, like you liked Itachi and stuff. Yeah, but I feel like also we've touched on this maybe too many times in the past, but I feel like especially the villains, there's a lot of good development there.
Yeah.
That really.
Yeah,
really
honestly, I mean, like some of them I
specific.
understand. Like I feel like they profit from some villains are understandable and some villains are just cool, you know? Like some I can't think of all of them in my head, but some of them are just like very fucking badass and they're cool because of that, or they're actually relatable and you understand their like thought progress. I mean, like Nagato, right? Like I understand his thought process. I get why he is the way he is and how he like changes and stuff.
Yeah.
What about his god complex?
In my opinion,
like
in my opinion, Nagato isn't when you realize how like his philosophy and stuff. I feel like Nagato isn't that cool, but like his character and like his backstory just like makes him like it still puts him up to that cool level in my opinion, even though like him like being like my pain is greater than yours and stuff is just kind of a bit like okay but
yeah. I mean, he realizes it in the end as well, right?
Yeah, his backstory was nice.
Cool. Yeah, but I agree. The villains in Naruto are actually pretty great, which obviously carries the show as well. I mean, Sasuke has a whole technically villain arc, you could say, but and he's also like I like the concept. It's just very great.
Yeah.
The thing I would like to say as well about those villains is while some of them are a little bit stupid, especially when they are confronted by Naruto, but what I do like about the villains, generally speaking, all the big ones I mean, is I guess Orochimaru is a slight exception, but that all of them don't originate as evil. That they have like a good reason. I say good reason. You know what I mean? Like they had like a
Mm.
reason and a pathway to evil rather than
I mean,
they're just like
Orochimaru
this
as well, right?
naturally.
I would include Orochimaru in that
Yeah,
Yeah.
as
he's
well.
a
I feel
slightly
like
different thing because he's more like science rather
no,
than
Oh,
but
yeah.
like
like
he saw Dan, boyfriend of so now they die, and he was like, this is shit. Can we prevent this? And that's where he started, his immortality philosophy stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. But like
But what-
he committed a lot of evil stuff in the
Yeah,
process.
that is very true. But
I
like,
think so.
I feel like Daedra and Hidan are probably the biggest examples of people who are just pure evil from the beginning.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Data as well. Well,
Not really
especially,
any redemption there.
yeah. What I have to say about Naruto though, before we go to another topic, is that the pacing is very fucking annoying. Like, if you watch it nowadays, you have to have someone who knows the anime who can help you through.
Yeah, just like look up. There's probably a list online where it's
Yeah,
like
there are.
these
There are.
episodes are part of this arc. So you watch this as one set. Then
Yeah, what helped me as well was just that not just because some episodes are like mostly filler, but not all of it. Some is canon. Then I had the friend who told me, okay, we can skip those episodes, and from then on we can watch like Gegok, or like some 5 minute recap and understand what technically happened in that arc that might be relevant, and then just go back to like actually have canon episodes. And I like
yeah,
that about having my watching experience in Naruto being like a different one probably than anyone who watched it back in the day or who didn't have anyone who actually helped them through watching it.
yeah,
But I guess still like if you just I mean you could stop after Naruto, I would say, and still be like, oh, that's a cool anime. But I feel like you are hooked after after getting through yeah, I feel like the painful start. It's not very painful, but I gotta be honest, I was just like, well, it's a little goofy, a little too goofy to actually like make me care. I mean, obviously
mm,
it gets very serious when like Naruto steals the don't know what it's called. But when it like
the
yeah.
Hokuku.
Yeah.
So yeah, Andrew's been streaming the Naruto game recently.
Hmm.
Games, I should say, and we've just sort of passed the point of the war declaration by Toby, and I feel like that's where the show really like
Hmm.
went crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Toby is just as a character himself. So
Yeah. Well, at that point when he was still pretending to be Madara and stuff, I feel like he was
yeah,
fairly cool. But like his plan is stupid, and like the power scaling is just nonsense, and no one
it's
takes
so
anything
insane.
seriously. Like
Yeah.
no death after like Danzo's death is like at all like impactful in the same way that
Yeah.
like Jiraiya's death was impactful.
I feel like one thing I have to say is that I sometimes got the feeling I think it was Naruto where they did it too many times that they acted like someone's gonna die, and then like they might have died a little bit, and then they pulled
Mm.
out like a bullshit way how they survived. And I was like, dude, you can't do that all the time. It's just like it seems so fake. Like I'm not gonna trust you anymore if you're just gonna make me feel like
Yeah,
this person's gonna die, and then they don't. I mean, like Kakashi's. I don't want to like make him as an example because I felt like that was actually a good way because
in the pain arc,
actually
you mean?
yeah, exactly. Because it
Yeah,
actually contributed. But like there were so many times where I was like don't act like this person's gonna die. I know they're not gonna die, and even
yeah.
if they're gonna like and then they
So now they had like 4 times in the show or something. There was
Mm,
loads.
yeah.
And the last time, it's like she's not gonna die.
Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
but
Mm,
yeah. I don't know. I feel like Naruto is just I mean, I only recently heard from that friend that I watch anime with that actually Naruto and Bleach were actually competitors, and
yeah.
apparently Naruto actually took off in Germany while Bleach was like the main anime in other countries, or like almost
Mm,
every other country, which I thought was crazy because I only knew Naruto as being like that the fuck one anime that everyone watched. But
yeah. We didn't in Sweden. We didn't actually have a lot of these shows didn't get dubs because there's not a
Mm.
big enough Swedish audience. So I
Oh
feel like
dang,
manga was the big sort of thing.
yeah,
And I definitely can say with 100% certainty Naruto beat Bleach in that.
Okay.
It's like every bookstore ever had Naruto, and then it's
Yeah.
like nowhere's Bleach.
Yeah. But watching Bleach now, I feel like I get why Naruto would have beaten Bleach. Not because it's better, because I feel like that Naruto is more beginner friendly. Like if you watch Bleach, I feel like you already
Mm.
have like developed characters, while Naruto actually takes you and then I don't know. I know Andrew would probably completely disagree, but I
I'm
feel like
back.
Naruto. Okay, then I'm not gonna continue my thought.
No,
Aw.
go on. I don't know what you're talking about either.
Yeah, I know.
So
So
Say your
Bleach
thought.
Naruto.
I need to know.
Okay, I think that Naruto did a better job at actually making you care about the characters. Not that Bleach did a bad job; it still did a good job, but Naruto made an even better job.
I feel like Bleach
I agree.
started off
Okay.
with like a totally different sort of idea of what they wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like the first bit where it's like I can see ghosts, it's like okay, so this is going to be like a sort of thriller sort of thing,
Mm.
maybe, or some mystery thing, maybe. And then it's like okay, so there's these big monsters, okay, and he tries to fight them, but it's not going well. So it's
Yeah.
it's like a sort of I guess not thriller exactly, but like it's a sort of low key fighting thing with lots of
Yeah.
mystical and mystery and stuff. And then like space dimension and super fights, and it's suddenly they're like Super Saiyan, and yeah, it's just
I
like
mean, obviously, I haven't finished Bleach yet, but I feel like the comparisons aren't very fair because it's just I get why they would be made, like main characters for orange hair and same
mm,
time both shonen, I guess. But I feel like what you said as well that they try to be different things, and I feel
yeah,
like they're both good at what they're trying to be.
yeah, it was a bit strange. I feel like Bleach didn't really find its footing for a while, and I think that's probably that
Yeah.
helped Naruto because Naruto it had a certain pace where it's like
Yeah.
different arcs introduce different characters, but the characters that we have as a constant are sort of
Yeah.
evolve throughout that.
Yeah.
Well, I think as well, with Naruto, when Naruto went down in quality, it was still covering very, very important plot. Whereas
Mm,
when Bleach got notably worse, and I mean, people always say that the Espada arc is worse than the Soul
the
Society
look,
arc,
yeah.
but I'm not even
Mm,
talking about that. I'm talking about like after the Espada arc. Um, the Bleach gets it goes in a very weird direction, which some don't mind as much. But the point is, I would say that it gets worse at a time where the plot seems really irrelevant, as if it's almost like filler. And within its filler, you could say, oh, it's trying to be different and it's cool, but just like nobody actually cares because of what it covers. Like nothing seems to matter and all that kind of stuff. So Naruto, yeah, kept you along for longer, especially because you've seen all this cool stuff, and then it starts getting worse. But you're like you can feel the
You know where
climax
you're going,
reaching.
right?
Yeah, exactly. You got the direction. Like
Yeah.
there's no point
Well,
in
Bleach
stopping
didn't
to
have any
watch.
technically. Yeah.
So Bleach kind of just like, it went downhill within its last season mostly
Like
and lost all of its popularity.
you had an idea why it would be interesting to keep watching with Bleach. As I'm not finished, I still am interested, obviously. But with
yeah.
Naruto, you already had like, I mean, you have the whole Naruto series itself, where you have like the whole how they could become proper ninjas and stuff, and like everything around that. And then it just went off the rails with the whole
Yeah.
Sasuke thing, and you still had the direction. Okay, where's this gonna go? But you knew what the main arc is gonna be. Well, Bleach
Yeah,
was. I feel
now
like Bleach
that you
didn't
say
have
it,
that.
that Sasuke thing never ended. It just kept
Yeah.
going for like
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like
arc
some
upon
time, but it
arc
never
upon
ended.
arc.
Yeah.
And then he just forgets about Sasuke, and there's like, oh, war arc, and then Sasuke turns up anyway. So it's like, okay.
Now that I think about it as well, actually, you mentioned you think Naruto makes you care about more of the characters, and whilst I definitely agree for the first part, I think somewhere in Shippuden, I think it starts getting a lot more close because I feel like somewhere in Shippuden you begin to realize that you don't care about anyone in the Konoha 11 other than maybe like Shikamaru.
Mm,
Outside of,
true.
Naruto, but even
Yeah.
Sakura is like, people start to
Bruh.
like lose interest at all. Whereas
Mm.
Lose interest? Bro, she could have died at any point. I would be like, oh, it's fine. I don't want.
Yeah. So yeah, a bit. Yeah, like honestly, I
10-10, for
feel like
example,
that's
Neji's death seemed so like looking back. I mean, it was a surprise at first, like
Yeah.
oh, but you look back and it's like, oh yeah, he did die, didn't he? I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
but like when it happened, I was like, oh no, they're not gonna kill him. And then he died, and I was like, oh damn, they did.
But I think it was
But
more
as you
for a
said,
surprise effect, but nobody
yeah,
actually cared about Neji. It was just
as you
surprising.
said, like 3 episodes later, I was like, oh yeah, true, Neji died.
Yeah,
No
but
one
like
forgot about that.
Naruto's bread and butter has always been like the side stories because there's no like power creep or whatever, and like the world is already established. Like the Kakashi, Obito, fucking
Hmm.
going to the stone village and being attacked and stuff, and Rin sometimes being there. Like I feel like that's why I also sort of feel like maybe the author likes that more, because like when we had the whole Edo Tensei stuff in the war arc,
Hmm.
so many characters that I cared more about the living characters turned up and like fulfilled, like finished off their like their
Yeah.
character arcs, or if they didn't have like unfulfilled stuff, they met up with their students or their loved ones or whatever, and like though Awesome, I think, for example, was pretty nice in my opinion. It's just it's a nice thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, do you think we've talked enough about Naruto?
No, but we probably should move on anyway.
Yeah.
What's the next question? Is it looping back to me? No, you got some more stuff. There's something very specific you wanted to
Yeah,
talk about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe oh
I'm scared.
yeah, okay. Okay, give me a second. Just
He's doing
cut
5
this out
push-ups in
later.
preparation.
Yeah,
Do
just
I have to mentally prepare? Okay, I'll prepare myself
So
for
Kimmo,
whatever's coming.
word has gone around town, and
Yeah.
we became aware of something.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna ask. So
yes,
Okay.
word around town, Andrew. You told me this.
I told
This
him because you
yeah,
told me.
and I haven't known this.
Yes.
I've known this for a while, but I haven't brought it up with you because I thought this would be good for this
Oh, I'm interested.
specific purpose. So, just to confirm my theory,
Yeah.
could you rate the
Oh.
different Pokemon generations for me in terms of your highest to your lowest?
Okay.
You can skip like the three latest if that makes sense, and just
Can
go
I
up,
skip
like,
like 5 till the newest one because I don't have any opinion. I only have
or
4, 3, 2, 1.
okay. So yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just-
Well, number 1 would be 4 because I played it the most. Number 2 would be it's close. I guess number 2 would be 3 or 1, and then 3 would be 1, and 4 would be 2. Like the worst is 2.
Okay.
So I've gotten misleading information from
No,
somewhere.
that's not true. I gave you the exact information that was told to me.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Kimmo, considering Gen 4 is your favorite, why do you hate it so much?
Yeah,
What do you mean I hate it?
yeah.
No, that was the question he was gonna ask, but like,
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, you never said you hated it, but one day when you said to me that you didn't want to play Gen 4 because of how long it is, I just said to Jacob that Kimmo says
Yeah.
that he thinks Gen 4 is a bit long.
Oh.
So I just
Yeah,
said that statement.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah.
like, but compared to like Gen 3 and stuff, it's not that much longer, really.
I mean it's
Like,
not
if
like
you want to play full
long.
complete, obviously there's like loads of special legendary stuff, but like
Yeah. I feel like it's more about that I have played it so much already, and I like you have so much more side things to do. I think, which I did back in the day because it was like my main game. I went into the underground. I went like I made cookies. So I actually made so many cookies. Bro. And that's
so your
why.
favorite generation is actually Gen 4 out of those.
Yeah, because I played it the most, I guess. Yay! Woo!
So yeah, okay, that's good. Favorite Gen 4 Pokemon. Let's go. Let's get right
Oh,
into this.
wait. I don't know if it's Gen 4. I think it's Gen 3, right? You know what I want to say, Cyb, right?
I don't know your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, but is this Gen 4? What I want to
Yes.
say? Okay, then it's Glalie. It's Gen 4, right?
No, it's not.
Fuck! I'm asking! Why no one tells
So
me?
Kimmo, how
But
do you think you caught it in Pokemon Emeralds? Can you explain that one to me?
Oof.
Just go through the
sure,
logic.
you're right.
I think there
Well,
might be some
I
lapse in
forgot
judgment.
I forgot about it.
So, can you explain that one to me?
Okay.
Oh, dude.
Favorite legendary out of the 3 main Gen 4 legendaries?
Uh, from like
That's
the fourth gen now?
Giratina, Dialga, and
Oh yeah, Jalga, safe. Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
That's
I
very
just
cool.
don't
Yeah,
understand, why do people like Dialga so much?
it's way cooler.
It's the
No, he's
coolest. dude.
not.
It
It's
is.
Roar of Time, and it's blue, and
It
it's
just
like
looks the
No,
coolest,
but
honestly. Like,
Palkia's like,
Jalga.
he's like
No,
purple,
no, no.
he stands up, you know, to...
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look at how he stands, dude. He looks like he has like back issues. Like he doesn't have a proper stance. He
That's
looks like
how-
a fucking degenerate.
Are you calling like a T-Rex degenerate? Like, because he
No, look
leans
at
forward?
no. That's not a T-Rex, dude.
that's more like an alien from
yeah. That thing should
Alien
stand
movie.
upright. Dialga has like some elegance to it, while Palkia's just like, oh, I'm Palkia.
Wh-
You know what I mean?
How do you want him to stand?
Look at it.
Do you want his
Dude,
head?
look at it. Please show
Do
a
you-
picture of Palkia
do
and
you-
Dialga
If
and
they
tell
ever
me
had voice
that
acting-
Dialga is not looking way more elegant than fucking Palkia. It just looks so
If
degenerate.
Pokemon ever had voice acting, I would love to see.
How do you want him to stand?
Palkia just be like, oh, I'm Palkia.
How do you want
Just
him to
look at
stand?
Dialga. It has an upright neck, while Palkia's is like, nah.
What do you mean? Do you want his
Look
neck
at
to go
him!
up?
Yes!
What? He would
It
look
should
so
stand
dumb.
upright. It's
I feel
no,
like I've opened. I've
Its
opened
back is
Pandora's.
upright. Its
Ah,
head
dude. It's
goes
not
forward.
upright. Look at his neck, bro.
No, his back is upright.
Yeah, but his neck, dude. He looks like he's trying to creep onto a fucking like I don't know. He's just trying to creep, okay?
No.
Yes.
It's like following the line of its tail, you know? The tail moves back, the head moves forward, you know?
Bro, he's not an S. He looks like an S if you think about it like that. And you're not supposed to be a fucking S.
What's wrong with S?
It's a good letter, but it's not the best, you know?
What?
It's not the best. Fair enough. Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
I
what
can agree
letter
with
is Dialga? Like L?
Dialga,
that. Not
no, he looks like an M, right?
maybe a bit like an M, I guess.
I mean,
No.
if like the pictures you can see of him, it's just like the legs make an M. I guess.
Yeah.
But
Don't know.
yeah.
Like his.
He doesn't look like a letter. That's the thing. He just looks good.
Like sure he looks more pretentious, but like
Pretentious, dude.
he looks more elegant.
Just okay.
But like Palkia, he's got that like essence of strength in him, you know? Like he
Mhm.
looks like he's supposed to sweep your team. He's more aggressive. What's
Yeah,
wrong
I'm
with
trying
being
to figure out
being a
what
bit
they're-
aggressive?
So Giratina is clearly like some sort of insect based. That's the design they went with.
Mm.
Like, but I'm trying to figure out what these are actually based on, and I'm struggling.
Is Giratina? I mean, I guess because of his legs, but his distortion
Yeah.
form is very different, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, but like,
I guess his distortion form is just a worm.
no, it's more like a cicada. No, not a cicada. Like a 1,000, millipede.
His distortion
Um,
form? Not his distortion form.
let's see here.
His by distortion form, I guess I mean distortion world form, but yeah, his like original form, it's like a worm.
Hmm.
But his altered form, I guess, is like a millipede.
Yeah, origin form. Yeah, and then no, but they're all like 6 legs and stuff. It's all
No,
a bit like...
he has no legs when he's a origin form.
No, but then he has his sticky out things, which are like insect legs.
Nah, they're no legs. They're just spikes.
He's an insecty Pokemon. Whereas
He's like deity, bro. He's like the king.
he's basically the devil to Arceus's god. But what the fuck is the Dialga Palkia?
Can we agree
Okay.
that like we need
Yeah.
to hate the lack of clarity for the pronunciation for Arceus or Arceus?
Yeah, I sort of feel like the point is that it's actually Sinnoh if you've played.
Well, in German it's pretty clear, so I would just say Arceus, right?
Okay.
Initially I said Arceus, and then I looked it up, and then it was Arceus, and then at some point I realized that I think they reverted it. They went back on their
Oh.
word and changed it back to Arceus or something like that.
Interesting.
But now
Mhm.
I'm so used to saying Arceus, so I don't want to go back anymore. There's some
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
weird
let's just
pronunciation
go-
type
Let's
shit.
just go with Arceus. Um, hmm, hmm.
What's
Okay,
up?
favorite starter from Gen 4.
Like the starting,
Yes,
not like the final evolution form, right?
I can do either or, but
I would say just one. Which one would you pick when you play the game?
yeah, that works too, I guess.
I mean, not but back in the
Good.
day, I have to see it like write the names because I don't know the English names. Give me a second.
It's
Oop.
Turtwig, Piplup, and
Hmm.
Chimchar.
I used to pick Chimchar, but I think I've told you this already. But because I mean, Piplup is very cute and Shellas,
Yeah,
Turtwig as well. But nowadays, I always pick Turtwig because I do like Chimchar's first version the most out of those three, but I do like the final evolution of Turtwig.
Let's
Uh,
go. It's my
that's
favorite
right.
I
too.
know you would like that, yeah.
Jacobs is Piplup, right?
Hmm.
Oh, it's like I love all of them. Like I've played with
Yeah, they're great.
I played the games lots of times, and I've tried different ones. And like realistically, like strategy wise, you should probably go with Chinchar just because of the lack of fire Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I don't personally. I was kind of unhappy that they did firefighting again.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
me
When did they
too.
do firefighting?
Gen 3. They did it the gen before.
Oh, but like the final
Blaziken.
evolution, right? Yeah.
Well, 2 and 3
yeah,
are both fighting.
yeah, same
Yeah,
for
it's kind of weird though
Gen
because it's
4.
technically a bird, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fighting bird.
it's like an
Yeah.
ostrich, they kick a lot.
Yeah,
But he
okay,
doesn't
yeah, true.
fly, so the idea is that he, I guess, can't use flying and
Imagine,
all this
imagine
stuff.
he could fly. That'd be
Mm.
Yeah.
stupid.
I mean, there's a couple Pokemon that, depending on the generation, can learn fly, and you question why. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I think Pidgey can learn fly in the like recent games, anyways.
Mm.
Which I think is stupid because the ideas behind fly is that you can like carry something with you, so you just like Pidgey's just carrying the main character around. Like that's just not happening.
But can't you fly on a Magikarp? Surf, sorry. I mean, like,
Not in the old no Magikarp. I don't know about the new games, but in the old games, Magikarp can't learn any
oh, they are like
HMs or
Tentacruel,
TMs.
Tentacruel, right?
Tentacle.
Tentacruel. I mean that
That
makes
thing ain't,
sense.
that thing ain't carrying me.
Tentacruel definitely is just huge.
No, it's not, right? Wait, no, no,
Tentacruel,
What?
Tentacool maybe not, but Tentacruel
Mm.
definitely.
No, I mean like the first evolution. Sorry.
Yeah, Tentacle.
Yeah,
Tentacruel.
Tentacruel. That
Mm,
thing ain't carrying me.
I mean, mate. I mean, you fit on there. I don't know how much you can carry, but I don't know.
You just plop downwards.
It's not like it's
Mhm.
definitely bigger than Pidgey. I mean, he looks bigger than Pidgey,
Or like
anyways.
Horsey, right? Horsey
Yeah,
probably learned
Horsey
surf, right?
can't. Yeah, Horsey
Like
definitely
that
shouldn't.
shit ain't carrying me.
Uh,
Like, do you know how big those? What are they like? Yeah, Horsey. How big they are? They're like tiny.
Yeah, they're pretty small. Even like
mm,
Kingdra, I feel like probably shouldn't be able to use
Yeah,
Surf.
yeah.
I don't know if he
But
can,
yeah.
but maybe I'll look
okay,
it
but
up.
like, okay, so like, why would you not want to play Gen 4?
Because he's played it too much, and it's
But
longer
so
out of
like,
all the Gen 4 games. That's what
but
his
with
answer was.
us, with
Yeah.
us,
I mean, it
with
depends.
us,
We have to finish our current Pokemon game to be able to talk about playing
one
another
of
one.
us, one of us.
By
But
Red's
I would
already
be
taken
down
super long, to be fair. And
if
that's
we
the
if we
shortest
manage to
game.
if we manage to finish this one. Like I might be down, but
Yeah, that's good. Hmm.
Do you have any more questions, Jacob?
Not about Pokemon, no. Apart from if you have an idea what the Algae were based on, because I have no clue.
I don't know. All right. Should I loop back? Should I loop back? Jacob.
Sure.
Okay.
Or,
So.
oh, do you want to? No, not that one yet. No.
Oh, okay.
No, we
oh,
need to. In this case, if that's the case, we need to, we need to do this question first.
I'm
Which
interested.
is
What sort of why, and when and how did you get started on Twitch?
On Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh damn, that's well. It was obviously COVID. Like that's the quick and early and Yeah, just like the
English,
quick
yeah.
answer.
Mm.
Like I was just bored, and as I did my apprenticeship during COVID, I was at home and wasn't allowed to go like to work, which is fine because I still got paid, so I don't mind. I didn't mind, but I
Mm.
didn't have much to do, and I was already playing a lot of Rocket League, and then I played even more, and I realized that I liked the whole media side behind like recording, and I already did videos back in the day. Like when I was
Mm.
12, 13, 14, 15, I made YouTube videos. That's why I got into the apprenticeship of media design.
Ah,
Uh, and then when I had the time off, I realized, oh, I want to get back into making my own content and not just producing TV shit, radio stuff, whatever.
Mm.
And I started streaming with no one, which I actually loved. Like looking back at it, it was actually so fun streaming with no one watching because it was just a perfect playground to just talk.
Fair
And
enough.
I lived with my girlfriend at the time, and she didn't mind, which is great. So I had like my own place with her, like we were living together. And me streaming was always fine. And then uh yeah, it was just like a good way to pass time. I was able to play more Rocket League, get to know more people as well. It's when I got into professional Rocket League as well, like watching pros play, not just Godsmiller, but also him.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, that's just the basic start. I just like the media side of it and wanted to make my own content again.
Yeah, fair enough. What did you like? Made videos when you were younger as well. Was that also
Oh,
Rocket League, or was it like?
I wish I had those videos
I
because I
assume Rocket League
think
wasn't out actually.
yeah, Rocket League didn't exist yet. But I wish I had the videos that I made back then because they were actually like I think for the time I made them, it was like 2013.
Oh,
They were actually pretty good because back in the day it was just let's plays. Like people were just playing, like even if it was FIFA or whatever, they were just playing and uploading. Like some people already made like funny cutting gameplay content, like where they actually edited the stuff. But most of them were just like hit record, play for like 20 minutes, stop recording, and then upload it. And I used to make like funny clips out of my FIFA games.
Hmm.
And I still think that they were funny. If I would probably like, if they still would exist, and I would look like watch them right now, I probably would realize that they was not funny. Back in the
fair
day,
enough.
actually, but I thought it was very funny for the time as well. So mostly FIFA content, but like funny. Like the way my content now looks, it's just basically the same, but like 10 years ago, and with FIFA.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Um. I guess. I guess if Andrew doesn't have any further questions, you can do the thing.
I can ask a question.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whilst you were, Twitch streamer and YouTube uploader, if you will,
Yeah.
what were some of the struggles you went through and things you
Mm.
think you would like handle differently now if you were to
Mm.
do it again and want to do it again?
Yeah. Well, the biggest struggle, well, streaming on Twitch was just I think that was actually the easiest because it was just like you go online, you stream a little bit. You wanted to
Mm.
I wanted to game anyway, so just streaming it was just like not that big of a difference. But if you remember, I most of the time was actually like very hype and active as a streamer. Like I
Ah.
tried to entertain as well, and I thought I had to. But when you stream for like 5, 6 hours, then like you get so tired just trying to be hype and always trying to entertain. And I respect every streamer for it. So like realizing, okay, what do I want to do with my streaming? Do I want to entertain? Then I can only do like a 2 hour stream. I can't do that for 5 to 6 hours, just for my mental fucking sanity. Uh, or if I want to just be some like gaming YouTuber or gaming streamer or just like chill laid back guy, then I could stream for 5 to 6 hours. But that wasn't really the problem. I always liked streaming. YouTube content, on the other hand, was just, especially when I was streaming a lot, I had the struggle of what I want to do with YouTube because I thought I would like use it for people to watch something while I wasn't streaming. So I started just like let's plays, I guess, or like Road 2 series, which
Mhm.
were just uploads of series I played, like 1v1, 2v2 in Rocket League. And I started to like make like actual series happening. Like I had like a Rocket League roulette thing. I think I made, which was a little bit more edited, but still on like the content side, I I realized while doing it that I wasn't doing it because I liked it. I was doing it just to have something out there that people can watch. It was still
Yeah.
like I think okay, and the content wasn't insanely bad. It was just boring. I was just like, why would anyone watch that? And looking back at it, as like my YouTube stands now, I like every video that is on there, and I still think that they are okay. They aren't insane, but I think they're funny enough that I can leave them up there. I have a German and an English YouTube, by the way, and the German one I think is even funnier. But I mean, it's German, so no one's gonna watch that. Uh, so I feel like the one thing I want to do if I were to get back into content, which I don't think is likely, because I don't want to present myself and my humor as much anymore. I don't think that uh, the
Why not?
career as a I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
okay,
like,
but like,
yeah, I think, like
you. So you don't you just to ask a clarifying question. You don't want to
yeah.
pretend. You do not want to present yourself and your humor as out of necessity, or is it more like you don't want to do it as a personal hobby? You wouldn't mind like
Oh yeah.
being
I
another
feel like
person's channel. Wink, wink, wink.
I mean that's fine. Like if I don't have to be if it doesn't have to be my content, I don't mind being involved with. I mean, obviously, I'm talking to you guys. If I like the people that I'm talking to, I would always be down to produce content and stuff. If I
Yeah.
have the
By the
time
way,
for it.
Jacob and Andrew, I don't want this to be up on the channel.
Alright,
Throw
you're
this out.
Perfect.
because of the first sentence you said when I press record. Gotta take
Yeah.
that.
Oof.
Uh, yeah, no, but like, yeah, for my own content, I always think I think I want to do too much with it, like, and at the same time, I have to be fine with the final form it has. Like, the content has to be good enough for me
Mm,
to be happy with what I'm doing, and I feel like if I were to actually make content, as people say,
yeah.
um, I think I would take it way too seriously and burn myself out. Not that I wouldn't realize when I would do too much, but I would just be so into it. And I might maybe in the future I might make some videos, but I would have to have a spark on like what I would think is funny or what I would think is great. I mean, like call me Kevin kind of content. I don't know if you know that YouTuber. He
Yeah.
makes yeah he makes funny gaming videos. I think he's a funny guy, but even he said that he burned himself out, and I get that
Mm.
because making funny gaming content like that and me being I want to have everything under control, it burns you out. And if that's your
Did
career, it's fucking dude. That's
Did you see his DIY trailer video
I
where
don't
it's like
think.
painted it blue and like he removed all the stuff inside and like put
Oh no
them.
no, I
Yeah,
don't think I've seen that. No.
yeah, it's so good. Should watch
Yeah,
it.
but he's a funny guy, right? And I feel
Yeah,
like I could also make videos like that, but it's just way too much that you have to do, and especially the way he does it, like weekly, whatever. It's
mm,
just I don't think that content has longevity for myself as I would keep my sanity.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think what I would say as someone who was observing your time when you were streaming,
Mm,
I think there was a very much a correlation between um, your viewer account and how excited you were attempting to be. And I feel like obviously when you're starting out, the viewers aren't gonna stay for the whole stream, especially.
yeah,
Like you're gonna have them come in and then they'll come out eventually. And I feel like you were doing a lot of the, I'm gonna say the fake energy where you're, trying to be more funny, etc., etc. And
yeah,
then when they would kind of leave a little bit more, then, the energy would completely deplete, and then you'd be like super tired, and then, you're streaming for longer and longer, and then you could kind of feel that time when the viewers were there would completely like drain you out of the energy, and the rest of the stream you weren't gonna be able to keep that up, basically.
mm,
I remember that kind of like I remember you trying to be hype, but I also feel like the majority of the stream, you'd actually look tired or something like that, or look
yeah.
quiet and that kind of stuff. To be fair, it's just me 24/7 on my stream, but
But honestly, like I feel like nowadays I would, if I were to stream again, which I would never count out, I would actually do it more like we guys talking. I would just make it s- a stream that is way more chill and just like talk about stuff. Would get people into the Discord and just discuss things. I wouldn't
Mm,
do like the whole hype thing. I think it worked back then, and like not just worked because I put up a facade. I actually was like that, and I still am. I mean, I think you can tell that I am a pretty laughy, enjoyable guy. Like
Yeah.
I like to have
I
fun.
think you're really
I like
boring,
to-
actually. No, I'm just kidding.
True. And that's how I am in social circles as well. When I'm with friends and
Mm.
stuff, people I don't know, I'm able to speak to almost anyone and just like get a conversation going and have fun and keep it pretty joyful. But I feel like nowadays my focus shifts more onto I'm interested in what people have to say and perspectives and stuff. And I feel like then streaming could be fun again if I get to talk to people and just discuss things. Doesn't have to be politics. Just could be. I mean, obviously, as we guys did, like about anime or whatever, like whatever anyone's interested.
Hallo, ich bin Kimmo. Wiener Schnitzel, ja.
Correct.
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 That's what I would do in Luxembourg, is they would start speaking, I think, Luxembourgish, and to be honest, sometimes I couldn't tell if they were speaking Luxembourgish or German, because it sounded the same to me.
I've
And
never
I-
heard Luxembourgish.
And I would
Isn't
just
that
randomly
just
go,
French?
yeah, yeah.
Isn't Luxembourg, don't you just speak French there?
No, they honestly, I think the majority speaks Luxembourgish, which is like a weird
Oh.
amalgamation of French, German, and like
Dutch, right?
yeah,
Dutch.
but I think that's somewhat to do with the fact that German and Dutch has similarities. I think more so than
Yeah,
the
isn't
Dutch
Dutch just
influence
German and
itself.
English?
No, but
Dutch
surely
is
it's-
German and English.
Surely-
Yeah, I swear it is. I swear it is. That's
Sure.
just a combination of German and English.
No, but
No,
surely it's
I have
because
to
of
disagree
the,
so
like-
much.
because they were part of the Netherlands for a big while, and then they had the same monarchy for another quite a long while. So I'm sure they have like Dutch influence in their language.
Like, there's definitely no like English rules that apply in Dutch.
But some
Um,
words are just
Yeah, I mean,
No,
a lot of words nowadays are just taken from English. Like,
It's like
I mean,
hip
yeah,
to
that's the same in
sometimes use English words, but
okay,
it's
that's what you
like
do in German.
that's
so.
like only like a couple words, you know. I would like, you know, I would definitely if you go to Belgium and you think that English is good over there, then that's just because Germany's English must be just that bad. It's like, you know, the English
Okay.
is not good over here, so I don't really
yeah, okay, so yeah,
don't see it.
it's
Yeah, fair.
Maybe it has some
Well,
like far away like classic English from like the year 500 that has some like
Yeah.
influence, but English nowadays is so far away from that you know it's hard
It's,
to even
it seems
compare.
like it's a Germanic language that basically, instead of becoming more like the rest of German, became like influenced because it was part of the Netherlands and then part of France for a bit.
Mm.
So it's basically had those influences as well.
We do have French accents over here, like French dialects, where we instead of like you know our local way or our language's way of saying fork, we'll just say it in French, and we call that a Belgian dialect for some reason, even though you're just using
Okay.
a French word. Like,
Damn.
how much is something a dialect if you're just using a Dutch word here and then a French word there? That just sounds. It's pretty stupid, but yeah, I guess that's a dialect.
I mean, Belgium is a strange country because it has like, similar to Austria-Hungary, it has like basically two main states with two different languages. So it's like, it's very strange for like a dialect to be compared to like an accent or something. And then it's like, as well, most of the people don't speak the same language in the different parts. So it's even
Yeah.
more confusing.
Yeah, and everybody hates each other. No, but like if someone is French and they're trying to speak to someone that's Dutch, they will not. They will refuse to try to. If they know any Dutch, they'll refuse to try to speak Dutch, and it's pretty much the same, vice versa.
No. Le
yeah.
baguette.
And,
It's
and
like being in France and trying to speak English.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah, and then
You're
you have
not
You're
Brussels.
racist.
Brussels is like the capital, and then it's like slightly more French, I think, than Dutch. So even the capital is like split in half.
There's a lot of English speakers in Brussels specifically due to the whole EU stuff.
Oh, apparently,
Yeah.
Lots of-
languages spoken in Brussels, right? 88.5% French. Wait, this doesn't make sense. Oh, this is like people
wait, is that
capable of speaking these
Oh.
languages.
Yeah,
More, what I'm trying to say is more people in Brussels, people can speak more English than Dutch, apparently, according
it's
to
part
some
of
statistic.
Brussels was part of Wallonia for a long time, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Now it's part of Flanders, so
Well,
yeah.
it's part of it. It has its own little thing, isn't it?
So it's technically its own state because of the because of how divided Brussels is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Like, and then the Flanders complains about the fact that we make like more money than Wallonia and stuff like that, and then but then the capital is a problem if you want to like split in half because the capital's in Flanders, but the capital's French. You know, it's yeah, Belgium is we have a fair few issues. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. Like this wouldn't have been a problem if you didn't just like religion and stuff.
Whoa, 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 whoa! We're going after
So like
religion.
back in the day of William the Orange or whatever it's called, Orange William.
William the Orange. Was
I
he a
feel like
fruit?
it's literally called something like that.
Oh yeah,
he,
William of Orange. William of
yeah, William,
Orange.
yeah, William the
William
Orange.
the Orange. You're a
Hey
fucking fruit,
Flanders!
mate.
Hey Flanders! No, but like so basically like half of the country spoke Dutch, half the country spoke French, but all of Belgium, or what would become Belgium, was Catholic, whilst the north was Protestant, which was what would become the Netherlands that we know today. If when Belgium became free, they instead decided to get one language and one religion. So, for example, most of them were Catholic, and then they could have decided to speak. They could have been Catholic but speak Dutch. That way, they would have a regional identity that wouldn't be too French or too Dutch. But instead, most of the people wanted the rest of the country to speak French, which didn't work, and it's not been solved. And as an EU citizen, I'm concerned that what would happen if Belgium breaks apart and the European capital is suddenly surrounded by non-EU members.
All right,
That's
I have
that's
no
that's
opinion. I don't follow politics.
that's,
By the
that's
way,
on the side of
look at the William of Orange guy. He looks fucking like, bro. I don't know how old he is in this. Like, it's a portrait, obviously, but
yeah.
his eyes, he look tired.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of politics he has to do, but bro, give him a fucking rest.
Yeah, he had quite a trouble with both the Spanish and the Germans. So
Damn.
yeah, and
I'm
he had a
sorry.
lot
I apologize for the German side of this. Sorry, William.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we did wrong in history, that we bothered you too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Nothing
Only
else.
thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all other German things have been great. I mean, like
Yeah. I mean, everything else was just Austrian, right? It wasn't German.
yeah, it's Kaiser Wilhelm, famous
Yeah,
Austrian.
bro. It's all, yeah,
Bismarck, also famous Austrian.
totally.
So anyway, I've been thinking, and I'm just going to segue into this because why not? Like we should do some kind of gaming content, like either some
Ooh.
Among Us or like some Minecraft or something. We should like find something, or like Garry's Mod, for example.
Oh, Gary's Mod would be funny.
Yeah.
I think
I
what
see
we
that.
should do is we should get a Pokemon mod and play like Pokemon Hide and Seek or something like that.
Pokemon
yeah.
Hide and Seek.
Yeah, where you like become objects.
Oh, in Minecraft
No,
or in
in
Pokemon.
In
Yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah.
That's just such a big.
Pokemon
Like-
Hide and Seek, bro. You like become like a flower, and then we just stand somewhere in a flower field, and then you just gotta
Yeah,
like
just
the
like
whole
fucking-
map,
Just go to
no,
like fucking
not the whole
Floroma-
map.
bro.
Just like
We
go to,
designate
like,
an area, and then you like search.
Okay.
Floroma town and just become one of the flowers.
can't you do
and
it in
then
Garry's
the
Mod as
rest
well,
of the people
proper?
start to live.
In Gary's mod, I don't know. No, I think
Yeah.
I think in Gary's mod, all Nintendo related maps were forcefully deleted through
Okay, but
you know,
how
Nintendo.
how about Wink Wink just prop ons in
Well, maybe
Maybe-
that could be a separate conversation for another time.
I'd be down for both. I would be down for Pokemon,
Yeah.
Hide and Seek, and Gary's Mod Prop on, whatever. I'd be down.
So
I wanted to loop back to something before we end. Talk about something. So Kimmo, looping
Yes.
back, to some earlier topic. Um,
I'm scared.
you know, when we met, we started playing like, you know, Rocket League, we started playing
Yes.
as a team and blah blah blah. So I just want to ask you about, you know, some of your Rocket League experiences and all that kind of stuff. How did you enjoy your time playing Rocket League, you know, fairly competitively?
That's a good question. I think it was the perfect thing to get into at the time for me as like a hobby, I guess.
Hmm.
So it was just as I always, I mean, I feel like a lot of young people in our generation, or I guess not yours, but mine, were into gaming. I mean, we obviously
How
are. I
how
mean,
old are you?
24.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, like
High five.
Andrew.
I'm
Yeah.
3
Andrew's
years
just
younger,
so,
mate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not that
Different generation.
much.
Yeah, sure, bro.
It was like 4 years ago, but now it's like the same.
No, but like I was into gaming a lot, so being able to live out the whole gaming thing
Yeah.
for some time was just great. Like it's a great hobby to have, and the experience I was able to have during that time. I mean, it was a lot of streaming stuff as well, but also just the people I met with you, for example, Andrew, but also Salted. I mean, I don't know if anyone still knows him. I don't have any contact with him anymore, but it's just
I feel
also
like he's
pretty
on
fun.
the, isn't he?
He
Maybe.
exists, barely.
Uh, but also like Godsmiller as well. Being able like we actually still sometimes text each other on Discord, which is quite fun. Just give us updates. Uh, and just knowing what the whole because I always wanted to be a gaming YouTuber and being a gaming editor, I guess, video YouTube editor. But
Mm.
then being able to look behind the curtain and see what it would be like to be that gave me an idea that I didn't want to do that as a full-time job, which was also pretty great. But yeah, the
Yeah.
whole Rocket League gaming stuff and being a competitive player was just fun because the memories I have with you, Andrew, and Chinny as well were just fun. Even though we never really, sadly, won anything and sometimes crumbled, it was still fun.
Mm.
Hey, I'm gonna not
I'm
take
not looking
any of the
anyone.
blame.
Not looking anyone.
I'm not gonna take any of the blame. I think when we won, I crumbled, but when we lost, it was you and Chinny. Maybe some slight copium, but that's my take.
No, it was always Andrew who crumbled. He didn't couldn't take the pressure. Kidding.
Um, but like, do you think you'd ever like do something similar to like playing like a Rocket League competitively? It doesn't have to be the same game, but do you think you'd ever do that again, like
Mm,
roughly? Or do you think that's like you've done that, been there, you know, maybe like
mm.
a very one-off in 1 week, but do you think you'd try to do something like that throughout a longer period again?
I think it really depends on how my life keeps going because the way it's been going ever since we played sort of competitively together, I just shifted my focus. I did go into sport a lot because I always played football, like not the American one, the real one. And when I moved, I kind of didn't play it as much anymore. But I realized that I missed doing some sport in my free time. And then I got into some actually working out or like going for runs and stuff. And my social life also just picked up. And the thing is, if I ever get back to a point where I don't want to spend as much time with people outside, I see myself getting back into gaming.
That
But
was a very sad way to phrase that.
yeah, no, but like if it's not with any prejudgment. I feel like it's just a different
Yeah.
focus you have. I feel like now I'm just meeting up with people in real life so much, or I have like work and stuff, and you just have things to do that I can't physically be play enough to be competitive at any game. And I also just don't want to have or use my free time that I do have on any specific game. I think it would be Rocket League if it would be any game, but I don't know would come next, or if there's another game that would capture me like Rocket League did. Um, but yeah, I guess it really depends on how my life would go, but I would never count it out. I still have, I mean, I've recently been even more active on Discord again, and I could see myself getting back into gaming. I still don't want to get rid of my PC. I still want to have the ability to maybe game one day. So I guess
Mhm.
it's never a full no. It could still come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, considering that, um, what has been your favorite tournament that you've played in your
Ooh.
What would we? Well, I guess we would call it a career, but you know,
In your long
your
life.
time playing Rocket League.
I mean, I think there's two answers. The first one would be like a team one, which was I don't know which tournament it was, but it was with you and Chinny. And
Hmm.
when we won the first series against like actually high ranked opponents, I mean we lost like I think the two next series or something. I don't know which tournament it was though. It was like the third time we played in a tournament, maybe the second time. I don't
Are you
remember.
referring to an RLCS qual?
Could be, yeah. I think it was one of those.
Was do you think it was the one that I covered on my YouTube channel, like for our BDA's first
It probably
RLCS?
was, so you guys should check that out now. I
Yeah,
don't know.
by the way, you know, watch that.
By the
You
way,
get to see how we played at the time.
it honestly could be that one though, because I feel like that was actually like the moment we had, how hyped we were was actually better because I remember was it the Oranje tournament or whatever it was called? We
The
actually got to
Orange
the
Cup.
yeah
That was our most
semifinal or something.
disappointing
Yeah, but
showing.
that actually like even though we got further, it was more disappointing because we thought we should have been able to actually win that one or like compete
Yeah.
better.
I'm
So
looking
like the
back, I would
RCS
say we
ones,
were the favorite, so
yeah, and like the RCS ones were always just like let's just see what the fuck we can do, and then actually winning a series against actually good players was like, bro, we're fucking dope. So
yeah.
that would be the tourney as a team. But actually, I feel like the one I'm the most proud of is just the ones tourney that I played. The one say from you,
Which you
because it was
played
just
two, technically, right? So you there's one where you played Muggy but lost in game 5 and then you forfeited the lower final.
yeah,
Um, and then there was one where you won against Muggy in game 5 and then
yeah,
you qualified for like a playoff and then lost in semis against Wiseboy, I
yeah.
believe. So which one of those two
Yeah,
was it?
it's definitely the one where we lost against Weisbo in the end because I
Okay.
mean, actually, like I
You were at
remember that
0 hours
Weisbo.
as well. Like
Yeah,
your favorite achievement is when you weren't playing the game.
honestly, but it was so like the experience itself was also like you did a great job on the tourney, I think. Uh, and I obviously because I didn't play at the time or didn't play a lot at the time, I kind of was just like, oh yeah, he used to play a little bit. Like he's gonna be like the guy who's just the wild card, I guess. Probably like still an underdog, obviously, with all the people that were in my like stage, I guess.
Hmm.
Mm.
But I I took that as a sort of like a way where I can just have fun, and I obviously trash talked a lot as a joke, and I still remember that me trash talking. Like there was a time when it switched when I realized, oh fuck, dude, I can't win. Like I don't want to win and trash talk because then you're just an asshole. If you
So
trash
that's
talk
why
and
you
lose, yeah,
lost.
sure.
I get it now.
Obviously,
Is that what you're trying to
man.
say?
No, but I feel like I always enjoy trash talking, but especially in Rocket League, it's not like people don't like to see it. Uh, I know that I used to hate Rattles for this, but I get it. Like trash talking is just funny, and if you lose, then it's just like, well, people can point at you and be like, haha, you lost, and I'm fine with that. But then I won, and I was just like, bro, fuck, I can't win while trash talking everyone, just making joke of yeah, especially Moggy. I felt bad because he was
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't the best at taking trash talks.
I mean, it was
Made it a
also
bit
obvious.
awkward.
Like, I knew that I could trigger him by trash talking and doing things in the game,
Yeah.
and I did that, and I kind of feel bad for it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, like, don't play once if you if you know you're gonna get triggered like that. Like,
Was it like
it's a
a realization of like, oh, you don't actually care that much, so you feel like for people that you don't hate, you shouldn't do it, or
yeah, it was like I don't care about winning. I don't care about getting far. I'm just doing it for the content. And but then I realized I actually make him feel bad. So I was just like, oh no, I don't want to make it actually feel bad. It's just a joke. Like I'm just
yeah,
participating.
I got a little
But
bit
yeah,
awkward.
It's just
honestly,
a
yeah, I
prank.
did.
It's just a prank, bro.
Because I
Uh,
like Moggy. I like Moggy. I still like him. I have nothing to do with him anymore. But I liked him back in the day. And yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I mean that's fair enough. And then I got like one last question about Rocket League.
yeah,
So outside of playing tournaments, what
yeah.
is your favorite accomplishment in Rocket League?
Ooh.
I thought there
I
was an
mean
obvious one, but
the just hitting GC.
Yeah, I mean, hitting the
Yeah,
highest rank in the game, that was pretty cool,
So,
right?
honest, I'm still flexing that to this day. I'm like,
Like, I was
well,
the
I
highest
used to be
rank,
the
bro.
highest rank in this game. No, no, but that actually was because I mean you were a part of my journey to that, so it felt like I accomplished it in a way that I was proud of it. And then that moment as well, and I will have that moment forever, where I was just, I mean, it looks fucking cringe and weird, but I like the way I was hyped about it. It's just a fucking rank, but everything I did before, like I acted like I was trying to be a pro and trying to get better at the game just to get that one rank, and then I actually accomplished it. It's like the first time I actually accomplished anything where I put time into in my life. Like I accomplished things before, like winning a soccer league with or football league with my team back in the day, but I didn't like
Jeez.
put the time in and try to. It was just like it happened. While this was the first time I actually tried to make something happen, and it worked
Yeah,
out.
and you know that effort is what made the difference, and it wasn't just like, you just turned up, played, and you just
Yeah,
happened to rank up. It was like,
no,
that was the goal the whole time. So it means more when you had a long-term goal and then you
exactly.
finally reach it, because you always
And
know
it
that
was a
there's no
grind as well.
guarantee. Yeah, exactly. No, it's interesting when you look at your channel. It's like, 4 years ago, tr I trained like a professional Rocket League trainer for one day. Train like him, train like Justin. How to be
Yeah.
Godsmill. I mean, that was a comedy video, but
That
whatever.
was a joke, yeah.
And then like a year
Yeah,
later, and then in between that, you're playing with me and some other guy, and you have that moment where I'm thinking like, this guy's trying so hard, that this guy's coming so well, like this guy, the way he speaks, he's so passionate, and then eventually, you get that video. Can I reach DC for the first time? And then you do it. So it's like
yeah,
there's a whole, like, from my perspective, there's like a whole like build up to that moment as well, and you kind of
yeah.
see it coming, and then you have that one reaction, and then you're like, GC fucking gamer, you boys!
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was quite nice. But yeah, that's my questions. Do you have anything left to ask, Jacob?
Do you like the picture I posted, Andrew?
Do you like the picture that I posted?
It's great.
No, I feel like we've gone through a lot of stuff. I think we've gotten a good idea of where you stand in anime and video games and esports and stuff. Even some real life stuff, which is nice.
Mm.
So I think Andrew had a question for you to round us off.
Yeah, Kimmo, there's a very important question that I have to ask you
Okay.
before we let you go, which is, what's your favorite anime intro or outro?
Of all
Ooh.
time.
I mean, because I want to switch it up and I don't want to say the same thing that I said earlier, I'm gonna say Haikyuu, the one with the fly song. Na, 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 na. That's a great one.
Okay, so you didn't want to say your Ghost, what's it? Not Ghost. Tokyo
Tokyo
Ghoul.
Ghoul.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't want to say this. That's obviously like might be the answer that's actually accurate, but to say something different, it is Haikyuu with the fly opening theme. It's fucking dope. Like look at that, watch it. It's awesome. It's a great soundtrack as well.
Yeah, I've heard it before. It's pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. But bye bye, good podcast done.